Hola. Hi, I'm Björn Westling. I'm from Johanneberg Science Park in Gothenburg, Sweden. Together with our partners, the Technology Park of Andalusia here in Malaga and the Technology Park of Alentejo in Évora in Portugal, we're working in a project called RBM, Recycling Business Models. In this short talk, I'd like to tell you about what we mean by circular economy, what the aim of this project is, what we have been doing so far, and what the final steps will be. So let's move on. Circular economy signifies a step away from the traditional linear economy. In the linear economy, products are typically made out of raw material, they are processed and manufactured, they are used, and then they end up as waste. We'd like to move into a more circular fashion where we can rethink products in order to design them in a way to minimize waste. We can also rethink our business models. How could they be used by more people or for longer? We can reduce the amount of material that goes into the product. We can reuse products when one user has got tired of the product. He or she can leave it to the next one, and this also implies a change of business models. We can, of course, repair products when they are faulty instead of throwing them away, and they will have a new life. We can refurbish products that have reached end of life, can be sent back to the factory to be refurbished or remanufactured and then sold and used again. We can recover, of course, energy stored in materials by incineration or other means. And as a final step, we can recycle, that is, move from the product disassembled into its component and back up into raw materials. But what we're trying to do is to not get too low in this process, but trying to make these loops fairly early on in the life of the product. So the aim of this project is to transform traditional science parks into circular economy parks. There are some examples of this already in Denmark, in Sweden, where this is happening. In the project, we'll be gathering knowledge and information about barriers and drivers from experts, from science parks, and from the SMEs residing in the science parks. We will produce handbooks on how to do this in practice, and we'll be arranging workshops in order to engage the stakeholders in the process. So far, we have made an expert survey among experts in circular economy to see what important factors there are, what is the main barriers and drivers in science parks. And we found that awareness is low and should be raised for this particular concept of circular economy. The legal framework should be looked at in order to facilitate and make it more profitable to do the right thing. Also, better waste management systems are used. We have also made a survey among science parks to see if there is activities going on, and if so, what are they, and indeed, again, why do they do it or don't do it? And it's clear that business models plays an important part here, that new business models are needed in order to keep products in use, to minimize the amount of materials that goes into the products, and also to reduce the waste coming out. And again, the companies are not enough aware of the benefits of these systems. There's also a number of waste management systems in place that do not support circular economy. There is a lack of infrastructure and systems for upcycling, that is, to go from products that are not yet waste, but can be reused or refurbished. And then what are the drivers? Well, the first one is, of course, to reduce the environmental impact, which is strongly felt by the companies that we have interviewed. But also to increase competitiveness. Is circular economy is seen as a means to improve your financial result. And job creation, that the competitiveness will give rise to more activities that will in turn give more jobs. So then, what will we do at the end of the project? Well, the next step is to study the models of recycling loop maps. That is, various ways in what this circular economy can take place, and find suitable ones for each of the science parks participating in the project. We will also do interviews within the local ecosystems in order to determine what the needs and the possibilities are for implementing circular economy. We shall have final workshops to spread our results, and there will be a final result including handbooks that will give practical advice on how to turn your science park into a circular park. And this should all be ready by early 2021. Thank you so much for listening to this, and I will be available for questions. Gracias.